Hello everyone, I am Professor Anish Vora and I welcome you all in this video lecture. Currently we are running a series of video lecture for design of synchronous machine. Today we will take one design numerical and will design for a stator. Some of the design specifications are given, that is a 13,750 volt, 50 hertz, 1500 rpm, star connected. Stator is star connected. We need to find out main dimension, number of turns per phase, and number of slots. Peripheral speed, that is given 79 meter per second. This is our constraint for selecting a diameter. Then some of the other data like kW, that is given 0.95, AC, that is given 40,000 ampere conductor per meter, and BAV, that is specific magnetic loading, and it is given 0.62 Weber per meter square. So this much of data is given and we need to find out three different parameters, that is a main dimension, number of turns per phase, and number of slots. So as usual we start calculating our design, and that is step number 1. So we start with step number 1. In step number 1 we'll design or we'll calculate output coefficient. We start with output coefficient, for example. So we know equation for output coefficient, that is CO 1.11 pi square BAV AC kW and multiplied by 10 raised to minus 3. This is our equation for output coefficient. So if we substitute all the values, then we have 1.11 multiplied by pi, that is 3.14 square, multiplied by BAV. BAV is given 0.62, AC, that is 40,000 multiplied by 10 raised to minus 3, and multiplied by kW, that is 0.95. So suppose we cancel out 10 raised to 3 and 10 raised to minus 3, then it is very easy now to calculate our output coefficient. So now 1.11 multiplied by 3.14 multiplied by 3.14 multiplied by 0.62 multiplied by 40 and multiplied by 0.95. So it comes to 257.84. So we can consider 258. So CO we have calculated, and that is 258. So first step is completed. Now step number 2, that is to calculate synchronous speed in revolution per second. So synchronous speed in RPS, that is revolution per second. We have been given speed, that is ns is given 1500, and therefore synchronous speed in revolution per second, that is 1500 divided by 60, and it comes to 25 rps. So second part is also completed. So in a third step, based on output equation, we need to calculate our volume, and volume is d square L. So let us calculate a volume. So step number 3, that is to calculate d square L, or it is known as a volume of machine. So output equation, we know that Q, that is CO, that is output coefficient, d square L, and ns, that is synchronous speed in revolution per second, and therefore d square L, that is Q divided by CO and ns. Now Q is given, and that is the 12 MVA. Now here we should know that Q should always be in kVA, right? That is very important. So 12 multiplied by 10 raised to 3 divided by CO, that is 258, and multiplied by 25. Therefore d square L is equal to, so 12 multiplied by 10 raised to 3 divided by 258 divided by 25. So it comes to 1.86. So 1.86, and that is meter cube. It is a volume, and volume should always be in meter cube. So step number 3 is complete. Now let us proceed for step number 4. So step number 4, that is to separate D and L. We have d square L, but to separate D and L, now here we have to consider peripheral speed. Peripheral speed VA, that is pi D and NS. Peripheral speed is given. So VA, we know that VA is given, and that is 79 meter per second. This is given data. So based on this equation, we have therefore diameter, that is VA divided by pi and NS. So 79 divided by 3.14 and multiplied by 25, and therefore D is equal to, so if we calculate this equation, 79 divided by 3.14 divided by 25, then it comes to exactly 1. So it comes to 1. So diameter is 1 meter. So when we take a 79 meter per second peripheral speed, we always get 1 meter of diameter with a speed 1500 rpm. So step number 4, that is to separate D and L. So D we have calculated. So based on the equation, now we have an equation, that is and therefore D square L is 1.86, and therefore L is equal to 1.86 meter. So because d is 1, so d square is also 1, and we have L, that is 1.86 meter. So this way we have calculated our d and L, so that is main dimension. Now let us proceed further for our next calculation, and that is EMF per phase, turns per phase. Step number 5. So that is turns per phase. So number of turns per phase. And now we have one equation. We have to utilize one equation, that is EMF per phase, that is 4.44 F flux 5 turns per phase and kW. Right? From this equation we have therefore turns per phase, that is E phase divided by 4.44 F flux 5 and kW. Now if we observe this equation, we have all the values. We have EMF per phase available, kW frequency available, only flux 5 is not available. So we need to find first our flux. So to calculate flux, we have one equation, that is a BAV, that is our specific magnetic loading, P5 divided by pi d and L, and therefore flux 5, that is BAV multiplied by pi d L and divided by number of pole P. So if we substitute all the values and if we calculate number of pole, so suppose NS, that is 120 F by P, and therefore P is equal to 120 F by NS. So 120 multiplied by 50 and divided by 1500, then it comes to, therefore P is equal to 4. So we have now all the values. So BAV, that is a 0.62 multiplied by 3.14 multiplied by 1 and 1 multiplied by 1.86 divided by 4. So we have 0.62 multiplied by 3.14 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 1.86 and divided by 4. So it comes to 0.90. So our flux 5, that comes to 0.9, and that is Weber. So now if flux we have available from the equation of turns per phase, we can easily able to calculate turns per phase. But before this, we have a terminal voltage per phase. So it is given that it is star connected, and therefore E phase, that is 13,750 divided by root 3, because it is star connected. If it is delta connected, then it can be a different value. So 13,750 divided by 1.73, and then it comes to 7947. So 7947 volt. So this value we have to consider while calculating number of turns per phase. So number of turns per phase. So number of turns per phase, and that is E phase. Just we have calculated, that is 7947. Then we have 4.44 multiplied by 50 multiplied by flux, we have calculated 0.9 and multiplied by 0.95, that is our kW or winding factor. And if we simplify this equation, then we have 7947 divided by 4.44 divided by 50 divided by 0.9 divided by 0.95. So it comes to 41.86. So 41.86, but we know that number of turns are always an integer value, so we can consider it as a 42. So turns per phase we have calculated. So in step number 6, that is our last step, so step number 6, and that is to calculate number of slot. Number of slots. So if number of poles are 4, and we can take number of slots per pole per phase, that we can take as a 3. Suppose number of slots per pole per phase, if we consider 3, then number of slots, that is 3 multiplied by number of phase, that is also 3, and number of pole, that is 4. So it comes to 24. Okay, so it is a 3 multiplied by 3, that is 9, 9 4s, that is 36. So number of slots, when we consider number of slots per pole per phase 3, then we have total number of slots 36. So thank you for watching this video. Keep watching. Thank you very much.